Things just took an interesting turn in the Rasmus Andersson trade rumor saga as one Flames writer has come out to say that a trade with the Vegas Golden Knights is still possible and that the Knights have assets that the Flames could want in a trade. Plus, we have the latest on the Connor Zary situation and his contract. Of course, we're going to get into all that and more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. And yes, I hate to say it, but we have, I guess, a bit of an Andersson update here. Trust me, I personally didn't really want to make another Rasmus Andersson trade rumor video once again, but hey, the bosses, the higher up, said why not throw out another bit of brain rot, and it is what is popping in the Flames sphere in terms of what's going on social media and the media in general. It's just all about Raz, and I really hope a deal gets done sooner than later, just so the saga can finally come to an end. This has more spin-offs than Star Wars at this point, but either way, we have an article. It's from Flames Nation, and it comes from Riley Delaney. So he writes a question for the headline. He writes, what assets do the Golden Knights have to offer the Flames for Rasmus Andersson? Because people are still speculating that, people like Sarah Volley, Pagnotta, they're speculating that the Knights still want Rasmus Andersson, but they don't have much cap space, and they really don't have a lot of trade assets that the Flames would want. But here's what Mr. Delaney has to say. He says, it seems inevitable that the Calgary Flames will trade Rasmus Andersson sooner rather than later. And yes, our fingers and toes are crossed for that one. There are several teams rumored to be interested in the Swede's services. After the draft, it was leaked that the Kings offered a substantial package for Raz, but Andersson wouldn't re-sign with the Kings. The other team rumored to be interested in the 28-year-old is the Vegas Golden Knights, and it seems as if there is mutual interest. Yes, Rasmus Andersson wants to be in Vegas. It was originally reported that that's the only place he wants to go, but we've now found out that that is not true, but they are still probably number one on the radar for both sides. Last season, Andersson played 81 games, scoring 11 goals and 31 points, matching his career high in the goal category. However, it was the fewest points Andersson scored in a season since 2020-2021, when the league played just 51 games. Still, top four right shot defensemen are hard to come by, and the Flames are in a position to get a haul if Andersson agrees to a sign and trade. Yes, the player still has a lot of power, and it infuriates a lot of people. They won't get a haul from the Golden Knights, though. That's kind of the key here that we've been talking about for the past few days, ever since, free agency opened up, and, well, even before that, when Marner went to Vegas. But before the 2024 trade deadline, the Flames traded Andersson's former defense partner, Noah Hanifin, to the Knights for an unprotected first, one of the most valuable assets the Knights could offer. And that's not till next year's draft, so we already have their first-round pick. Of course, the Knights could always offer first-round picks in future years, namely the 2027 and or 2028 first, but that doesn't seem all that appealing. It really doesn't. For prospects, their only first-round pick in the system is Trevor Connolly. Mathieu Catafort is a right-shot center set to turn professional, and Jacob Wozniak was the 55th overall selection in the 2025 draft. He looks solid, but that'd still be lacking for the Flames if Andersson is to be traded with an extension. The Knights really don't have all that much. Are there any players on their active roster who could be of interest to the Flames? That's where the interesting twist comes. Do we take roster players from Vegas? Crazy. As a Stanley Cup contender, most of their players are in their prime, but Pavel Dorofeev is a 24-year-old of note. Let's talk about him. Last season, the Russian left winger scored a career-high 35 goals and 52 points in 82 games, leading a pretty stacked Golden Knights team in scoring. That's pretty wild. The key thing for me here, left wing, not center. Moreover, he's only 24 years old, meaning that he also fits the Flames' age scheme. True. While the Flames are loaded with wingers, Dorofeev, I've heard it pronounced every way, would instantly slot into their top line with Nazem Kadri. That said, the Knights wouldn't be thrilled to trade their breakout star and probably wouldn't even consider it. Exactly, so why are we even talking about it? Trading Andersson to the Knights doesn't really make sense for the Flames either, as they need the Golden Knights to be as bad as possible to get the highest pick possible. So can the can the Raz and Vegas rumors die down? I really hope this is the last time I'll be making a video on Rasmus Andersson, at least to Vegas. I'm sure there will be a lot more Raz videos, but at least to Vegas. I'm really hoping that this is kind of a sign that it just doesn't make all that much sense anymore. Does anyone want Marner? It still seems likely the Flames find a new home for Andersson before the season begins, but trading him to the Knights is less than ideal. For the Flames, it may be better to hold off trading him until the trade deadline, as he'll likely be the best defenseman available. There's risk involved with that, such as an injury or regression in his play, but it may be their best option, at least in terms of dealing with the Knights, which still I just don't think makes all that much sense. But of course, I'll keep you updated with any stuff that happens in the Rasmus Andersson trade rumor saga. This is, for people who have been around the channel for a long time, this is crazier than, the Dylan Cousins rumors, the Jacob Markstrom rumors, and more. So this takes the cake at this point. He's not going to Vegas. Now, let's talk about the latest on Zary. And you'll have to bear with me. I'm kind of doing a roundabout way of getting to the point here. But there was an article that was published yesterday by Eric Francis of Sportsnet. So he wrote Flames depth chart, who can break through as youth movement takes next step. And obviously he talks about some of the youngsters that are coming into the system, who's going to, make the roster, who's going to maybe break out a little bit. So guys like obviously Parekh were mentioned. But the one I wanted to focus on the most was obviously Connor Zary. Now, one quick excerpt from this article is this. So Francis writes, will Connor Zary be deployed up the middle? If so, who would move to the wing? So that's interesting because he's not really slotted to be a center in a lot of people's, projected lineups for the upcoming season. They have him as a winger, as he's played quite a bit for the Flames, but he has played a little bit at center as well. So if he moves to the middle, can Klapka eventually be a top 6 forward, where the 6'8" winger showed so well the last 3 weeks of the year? One thing is for sure, he won't be sent down as he now requires waivers. So that's true. Klapka, no matter what, will be in it. But if we focus on Zary, he needs a contract as well. And, will it take into account his position? I know that's kind of wild to say, but I think the contract is what people obviously care about the most. Is he going to be a Flame? Is he not? And we do have this other excerpt from the article, which was actually, I took it as a screenshot from a tweet because I saw it first. But Francis says this. So on Connor Zary contract, expect a 2-year bridge deal so the talented youngster can up his value following an injury-riddled season. It will be very similar to Morgan Frost. A lot of people are expecting in both term and value. So expect that. Don't be expecting a lot more. I highly doubt, I'm 98% sure that he doesn't sign long-term. He'll definitely have a prove-it deal after all the injuries, the underwhelming stats, at least as far as his expectations go. So that's the latest on Zary. Expect it to be like Frost, probably a 2-year prove-it deal, just like we saw for Frosty. Now let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, as we love to do here on the channel. It comes from yesterday's video, of course, which was about the youngsters and Zane Parekh most namely. And this was a great comment here from NHL Digest. They said, I don't know, guys. Parekh just has that star player vibe, and I can't describe exactly what it is. He just seems like that guy. Has the confidence and belief that I haven't seen in a while from a young prospect on any NHL team. You got to temper expectations a tad for next year, but I still firmly believe whenever it happens, this guy will be a star and a franchise piece for years to come. I think we have a good one, and that goes without saying at this point. Most exciting prospect I can think of in so long for the Flames, especially as an offensive defenseman, which are just, such an essential part of success in today's NHL. Most exciting players. A lot of the most exciting players seem to be offensive defensemen. So just so grateful to have Parekh in the system, and hopefully he can take a major step in his development this upcoming season. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to what you saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.